everyone, it's Shel from Paper Octave Studio, and here's my second video released today on the 28th of April. This is the Pick-a-Stick Challenge, and myself, Peg, Sherry, and our guest artist this month, Yva from Yva Lovee Arts, will be releasing a video today having to do with the 10 steps of the Pick-a-Stick Challenge. Remember, there's 10 steps, and the only rule to Pick-a-Stick Challenge is you must do the 10 steps and you must do them in order. So that's what I did on this page. When I saw this list, I said to myself, oh wow, this is going to be a mess, but it actually turned out pretty cute. So the first step was to add black marker or pen. When you get a stick like that from the Sticks of Fate, you're like, black marker or pen is the thing you do at the end, you stupid sticks. Why are you giving it to me the first thing? But I just went ahead and drew like kind of a little, what in Arizona we call a ramada, which is like kind of a shade thing. I think some people call them a pergola. I don't know. Anyway, I just kind of drew that at the top thinking, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but that looks good for now. So the next step was to use a crimper or something corrugated. So I grabbed this sheet of corrugated paper that I have from Canvas Corp brands, and at first I thought I was going to make a little picnic table and have like maybe a little outdoors relaxing scene under the pergola, you know, as kind of a summer thing. But the picnic table looked stupid. So then I thought, oh, how about an Adirondack chair? And so I decided to make that instead. I'm just winging it, you know, no pattern. I'm just like cutting pieces and trying to assemble them into something that reminds you of a chair under my little pergola or ramada, whatever you want to call it. So I thought that was a pretty good use of the corrugated paper. This paper is craft colored and it has those lines in it, and it kind of reminded me of wood, and that's the reason that whole thing came into my head. You never know what's going to happen when you do these challenges. You just start, and then sometimes you have a plan, most of the time you don't. I didn't really have that much of a plan. I thought about making a plan when I saw these steps, but then I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to wing it. So this turns out to be my little Adirondack chair. On this page today, I really didn't use any matte medium or anything like I normally do with collage. I was just, So I just decided to use tacky glue and glue everything down and not worry about how well it's glued down today. I just didn't care. So the next step was to reuse an old greeting card. And I had this card. This was a birthday card from my aunt for my birthday last March, and it had these pretty springy looking flowers with this glitter all over it, and I thought it was so pretty, so I decided to use the flowers. So I trimmed them off the bottom of the card, and then I realized that I could open it up. It was, you know, the first part of it was glued down so that you would get flowers on the front, flowers on the inside, but when you open it all up, it's just one big long set of flowers across the bottom. So I wanted to fit them to the bottom of my page, and so I kind of cut the two ends off. They're the parts that were taller that came up at the ends, and then cut a different section to fit in the middle. You know, you don't have to cut it all out in one piece. You could cut each individual flower out if you wanted to. This worked for me. And then I did end up adding a couple of the single flowers. I just cut them out singly and put them on the side so that it went up on that left side too. So of course I've cut out a lot of the footage of me cutting things out because that's boring, right? It really wasn't as quick as all that, but I thought it was cute. So the next step, step 4, was to draw big. What the heck does that mean? Draw big. Draw something. And who even comes up with these prompts anyway? And oh my gosh. And wait, that's me. Huh. Okay, I'll draw something big. And then I thought to myself, you know, this could be a dollhouse. This could be like a cute little dollhouse, and there could be a girl, and she's big, and all, you know, the flowers are scale to her, but the chair is small because it's a little doll chair, and she's looking into the dollhouse and going to play with it. Okay, I have a concept. I finally have a concept. That's awesome. So that's what I decided to do. And I started with her little hand reaching in. And then I went to draw the face. Of course, the face and hand have to be in scale with the flowers, basically. Like she's outside and she's put her little dollhouse in the flowers and she's playing. I don't know. I mean, where does this stuff even come from? I don't know. But that's what I decided to go with. But then it really looked like her hand was growing out the side of her face. That was not attractive. So I erased the hand and decided to have it coming in the other direction. Yeah, that was unattractive right there. It's not a sideshow. So then I'm trying to get this hand to fit around the chair. And of course, the chair is already glued down because that's how these things work. It's a challenge and we stick everything down, you know, you've got to work around. And so I decided to make the hand on a different piece of watercolor paper. These are my little stack of offcuts that I had cut off some larger pieces when I was making a journal. And of course, hands are hard to draw, people. They're freakish. They just, I don't know. So it took me a while to draw the first hand, then I had to erase the whole thing, and then it took me a while to draw the second hand and try to get it to fit so that it didn't look like, it looked like it was part of her coming in, but it wasn't like weird. I don't know. Anyway, I finally did end up with something and glued it down. I probably could have fussed with that for another hour. Seriously, it was really driving me crazy. So then I had her little hand and her face, and I'm okay, good. I drew big. Awesome. So then I go to the next step. Use dictionary text. Well, what the heck am I going to use that for? I've already got like this whole scene. Okay. I decided to make the dictionary text her little sundress or tank top or whatever she's wearing, just to get this stupid stuff on there and call it good. So I had a piece just hanging around my desk from project I did before this, and it's Latin dictionary text. I took a piece of deli paper, laid it over the area that I needed to make the shape of the dictionary text, drew it, then glued the paper onto the deli paper and cut out this piece. And I kind of messed up around the bottom part, so I had to cut a little extra piece and tuck it in there to cover that white spot. Not sure what happened. My drawing must have been bad. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the using the dictionary text part, which gave her something to wear. So the next step was to use something from the opposite season. And here in Tucson, Arizona, it is hot. It might still be considered spring, but it feels like summer. So I decided the opposite would be winter. So I have these little stick-on gems that are the shapes. They're supposed to be snowflakes. They're little snowflake gems. But I thought I could use them as extra little flowers in my flower bed. So there's some shiny little flowers. Yeah. That seemed to work. The next one was make a list. Make a list. Make a list of what? So I decided to write number 1, always remember. Number 2, there's always somebody bigger. Number 3, there's always somebody smaller. Something my grandma used to tell me, but basically what it means is there's always somebody more popular than you. There's always somebody more less popular. There's somebody that's got a bigger house, somebody that has a smaller house. Just always consider the idea that it takes everyone in the world to make it run, and not to get too big for your britches, you know, that sort of thing. So the next step was to use a gel medium or gesso to create a resist image. So I got out some glossy Mod Podge, and I painted it over the Ramada. I wanted that to remain white, and if you seal up a section of your watercolor paper like that, using something glossy, then it resists any water-soluble medium that you put over the top. So once that was all dry, and then I also used the excess. I know I told you that these little flowers had glitter on them. Yeah, the glitter was getting everywhere. It was getting all over my hands. It's probably still on my hands. I just wanted to seal in that glitter, so I used the rest of the Mod Podge to seal in the glitter. And then I got out my Koi Travel watercolor set from Sakura, and I've been playing with this a lot lately. It's just been something that makes me happy for some reason. Good pigments in this watercolor set, not too expensive. I'll link it below in the list of materials used with the links so that you can get them if you want. So as you can see, as I paint that over and then I go back with clean water, the watercolor comes off the area where I put the glossy Mod Podge. And that's what a resist is. So you can do all kinds of fun things with that. You could like stencil your glossy material of whatever sort, or gesso. It works with gesso too, but it's kind of a little bit different effect. You can stencil it and then have, two different tones when you put something watery over the top. It's a fun thing to do. So then I just proceeded to continue to watercolor my whole page. I just decided to color the whole thing with the watercolor. So I'm using the blues for the background as kind of a sky because she's outside in the flower garden, Of course, having things glued on already is kind of annoying when you're trying to fill in a background. It's so much easier when you have the background already done and you go over the top. But with our challenge, you're actually challenged. We really, honestly, just draw these things out of us, just they're random. It's completely random, and that's what makes it fun. It makes it a challenge. Makes it something that you have to really think about and use your skills to come out with something that you're happy with. Oftentimes we joke about whose page is the biggest, hottest mess, but it's fun. It's very fun, and I think everyone should join us. If you want to join us in this challenge, down below in the links, there'll be a link to other people's videos, and also there'll be a link to our Facebook group where you can come and join the challenge. You can also do the challenge just by watching the Pick-a-Stick videos that we have. On the first Friday of every month, one of us has a video that tells what the steps are, and then you can just do the steps as you please, and then if you're in the group you can post your page, or we also have an ATC challenge. If you're not in the group, that doesn't matter. You can post it using the hashtag and we can still find it. So the only trick is to be following on YouTube myself, Sherry Whitfield, Peg Robinson. We're the three people that are doing it at this point, and then we have been having some guest artists. So this month our guest artist is Yva from Yva Lovee Arts. So different people have the challenge on their channel on different months because we all rotate so that nobody's left with the burden of doing it all the time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's easier to just join the Facebook group. Then you see everybody's art, you see the challenges come up, you see all the postings. You know what I'm saying? So just still watercoloring this part of the challenge probably took me the longest. And also building that little chair. Figuring out how to build the chair took me a few minutes too. But you got to have color. You can't just not have color. That, like I said earlier, the rules of Pick-a-Stick Challenge are that you have to do the 10 steps and you have to do them in order. But you do not have to only do the 10 steps. You can put other things in between or at the beginning, or you can start with the background that's already painted. Whatever you want. You just have to do the 10 steps and do them in order. That's the rules. I don't know who comes up with this crazy stuff. Oh wait, it's me. Yeah. But it's fun, and I think everyone should do it. So come join us. Be happy to see you over there if you haven't already joined. So I'm not sure how much of a little girl this actually looks like. She might look, I tried to make her face, her cheeks chubby, you know, to impart youth, but maybe I should have made pigtails or something to give you even more of an indication that it's a little girl, because she might look a little bit too old to be playing with little doll furniture. I don't know. When did you stop playing with doll furniture? I know I was sewing Barbie doll clothes, making up my own little fashions and sewing them on my little sewing machine when I was probably 12 or 13. So that's not exactly playing with dolls, but still I was playing with my dolls because I was making outfits for them. So I don't know when you stop, really. So the next step was make a grid of circles, squares, or objects. And when I saw that, I said, hey, I already made a grid. Dang it. What am I going to do now? So I decided sometimes ramadas have netting over them so that it can even block the sun a little bit more. It's not a complete cover, but it has netting so the sun can kind of get through, but you're helping yourself not get sunburned. So I decided to make a grid inside my grid using my white Posca pen. Posca pens write over other media very well, so I just wrote right over the top and made these little tiny grids that look like netting to make a little bit better sunshade for this obviously very pale girl who probably is going to get a sunburn. So step 10 was to add something another artist gave you from Happy Mail. This is a die cut that I believe Ellen sent it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but cute little lacy dragonfly die cut, and it's in scale with the little girl and the flowers, so I put that on there. I thought maybe a little butterfly might be flying by, or I mean a dragonfly might be flying by to play as well. So to finish up my page, I used my black Stabilo All pencil. This is a highly water reactive pencil, and I went over all my graphite lines to darken up. I could have went over it again with graphite and then, you know, blended it or something like that. That would have worked too, but since it was already a water media page, I just went ahead and did this, adding in detail lines, going around the edges, darkening up, because she was looking a little bit pale in comparison to everything else. And then, of course, I take a water barrel brush and activate that Stabilo pencil. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember, you know I'm going to say it, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment so I know that you were here. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can just click that thing down in the corner, the purple subscribe. And you can turn on the notifications bell so that you get a notification every time I post a video. And also, if you want to, you can share. You can click your Pinterest and post this to a board on Pinterest to save it, or you can share it to Facebook. All those things help my channel because it lets Facebook know that I'm making something valuable and that somebody might want to watch it, and then they can recommend it to someone else. So always grateful when you do that. I think I'm just about done with this page. I'm still activating the Stabilo. I did put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the dragonfly wings, but you don't see it in the video because I'd already turned the camera off by the time I thought of that. So the wings end up being a little bit sparkly, but it's not that dramatic, really. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.